the younger people who are out there, if there are any, well, I think I saw someone in the front. You younger people, if you want to know, you should really live it up now, first of all. Live it up, because it's going to turn into a horror show. I mean, there's just no question. If you want to know the consequences of what you're doing now, take a look at our generation. I was with my friend recently, and she took me to Florida, and it was like, what did you say, Beth? What? What? Jane, I can't hear you. Could you repeat that? No, Beth, I just said, what did you, what? I didn't hear that. Could you say it again? What? Beth? Jane, what? Who? When? What? I'm not here. Because we don't hear well. So now they're capitalizing on this. In the ads, they are now advertising for little hearing aids. There's a strange little man who does this ad on television, who likes his hearing aid a little too much. Oh, I just love my new hearing aid. I just love it. It's just wonderful. Well, you should, because it probably costs $25,000. It's tiny. It's as big as a Pez. It's tiny little thing. My father was deaf. He was deaf all his life. His hearing aid was the size of a cell phone, basically. It's not right. Obviously, I'm a television addict. Anything, I will get addicted to anything that will take me out of my own madness. And television, I watch the ads because I'm looking for, do they ever use a woman my age who's kind of not, 500 pounds overweight, or like, I'm looking to see if I could ever get booked as, it doesn't matter what I'm looking for. I'm looking for my career somewhere in that bale of hay. But the ad for Cialis, they've made the people younger. That's how much I've noticed. They don't have the gray hair anymore. They're going now for a younger group, probably the 50s, because so many boomers are in their 50s and are careening into their 60s. And you have people sitting there, they're on a couch together, or they're in the kitchen together, and one of them, it could be the man or the woman, they give this kind of look. It is very subtle. The person is either telling you they want to have sex, or they're having a psychotic breakdown. One of the two things is happening. And then the next scene, they're in separate bathtubs, which, obviously, what happened in between? It doesn't sound like it was good. Because they're on a cliff, usually. I can't. I mean, really. And this, really, the worst thing for me about getting older is the whole thing with men. Because I'm trying to make them unimportant in my life, but it's not working. Because it's, number one, they don't see me. I'm invisible. I went invisible when I was in my 40s. And it was progressive. First, white men began not to notice me. Then it was black men. Then Hispanic men. Then even small Mayan men didn't see me. Occasionally I hear one screaming under my foot, apparently, because they're tiny. You don't even know that you step on them, and I don't know how they got here. It's like the old Jews who used to drive cabs. Where did they go? They bring in the Mayans, the Jews are gone. It's a very, very ever-changing city. Ethnically, ever-changing. So men can't see me, so that makes it very difficult. And personally, I should have stayed with the man that I was with. I just, we were doing, dope was more important than the relationship. And I really should have stayed with him, because that way we would have gotten old and decrepit together. And we would accept each other's aging body. I'm going to be with some new man someday, maybe. I'm beginning to give up hope, but maybe. And it's going to be very difficult, because if you accept it, you're both aging, and you've aged together, you remember each other when you were young and whatever. He accepts things about me, except the fact that, like, I could see us in an airport, and they stop me and they say, you just said you were taking one take-on bag. And I said, that is all I'm taking. What about the two under your eyes? I mean, he would accept that. He would accept that. I would accept the fact that his testicles are getting so low they're dusting the furniture. I mean, at least the furniture's getting dusted. I don't cook. I'm a real bargain. Let me a real bargain. I like sex. I don't want to give it up. And someone once, about 10 years ago, gave me a book, Sex for One. Thank you. Thank you, my dear friend, for having the faith in me that my life is going to continue like this forever. I don't like Sex for One. I like the yin and the yang of that energy. I don't want to give sex up because it feels good and it's fun. And it also is very good for stress. Of course, it's the relationship that's causing the stress. But then you bring in someone you don't know, and you bring in an older guy, or he brings you in, it doesn't matter, you're going somewhere, and you're very set in your sexual habits. You like what you like, and you're not flexible like you were. I don't mean in the body. I mean that too. On my back, I can't do this, and then I got a pain, and I got arthritis in my knees, and I'm in. But you can. It's the flexibility of change, and really, I don't want a talker. I don't like talkers. I mean, you can move a moaning, a little groaning. If you have to scream when you climax, just keep it down a little because the Japanese people below me really get very hostile at noise. It's true. But I don't want a conversation, I'm not here to talk. I don't even answer the phone after 10 o'clock at night. So just, shut up. Just shut up. Finish what you're doing, and we'll, I don't know if you snuggle. I'm not a snuggler. But it's very hard. It's hard to meet them. And then, really, you get strange. I mean, you could get a guy who could show up. I mean, he could have a little attaché case that's making a lot of clanking sounds inside and tell you that Criminal Minds is his favorite show. You got to get him out of there quickly. You don't know. You don't know. And I said, I don't even know. I can't go to bars anymore. It's a young world, and I'm not part of that anymore. So and plus they can't even see me if they're my own age. So what the hell where am I going to meet? And a friend said, well, you're not trying. You're just not trying. If you want to meet somebody, number one, you have to leave your apartment. Well, okay, I find that very annoying, but I'll do it. Well, what do you expect? A good-looking Jehovah Witness is going to come to the door? Get out. Get out there. Mingle. Network. Do all the things you're really bad at. Go ahead and do it. So I went on a line. I did. I went on a senior line. Senior translates to anybody from 35 to 80. They probably were all 80 sending pictures when they were 35. One bad experience after the other, basically. And my pictures are 3 years old, so I always like guys who live on the other coast and have no money, so they can't come here. And so my therapist suggested I really didn't want a relationship. Another brilliant assumption. And what did I pay you for this session? But they did. If I liked them, they didn't like me. The thing in the beginning, I used to have dinner with these guys. What a nightmare that was. You're like choking on your food because you don't like the person you're eating with. You can't enjoy it. So this guy takes me to a restaurant and he says, let's share a dish. And I thought, well, that's nice. That's really nice. We'll split. I'll get something and you'll get something and we'll share it. He meant what he said. Let's share one dish. Well, already I knew the day was over, but, I made sure I got my half of the dish and my half of the dessert. Then, of course, he's got to drive me home, and I think we were 3 blocks from my apartment. And then we go to the apartment, not the apartment, because I said to him right outside, I'm not going to invite you up. I'm just, it's just not going to happen. And it's like the 50s all over again. They take you out to dinner. They think that they got to kiss you goodnight. And some of them, in the earlier days when I was eating dinner with them, a very sweet little kiss on the cheek or on the lip, dry, and it didn't matter. This guy shoved his tongue so far down my throat, it was like he was looking for my tonsils.